All right, sometimes things get lost in translation when doing estate planning, which is why I always say you have to review things and see what you think you should be doing with an estate planning attorney, not just on your own. So recently I came into another one of these situations. So a person set up a lifetime trust and must have heard from someone that you need to fully fund your trust. So what happened is that on a retirement account, this person named, now hear me out here, they named the estate as the beneficiary because the will was a pour over will, meaning anything that came through the probate estate would just be poured over to the trustee of the lifetime trust. And so this person must have thought, well, I'm not going to retitle my retirement account during life. I know I shouldn't do that. So instead, I'll name my estate because I have a pour over will, and that means my executor will then be able to hand off the account to my trustee. Well, that was not what should have been done. And unfortunately, we have to deal with this through probate. On top of that, there was a missed asset in a computer share account, and perhaps that just got forgotten about, just one of those things that you don't think much of. And so now we actually do have some concerns in regard to dealing with probate, where I would have hoped if this person had reviewed things with estate planning attorney on a year-to-year basis, that this would have been caught and avoided the frustration, delays, issues, concerns, fees, and et cetera that we're dealing with now. And it always makes me think that even when you think you have documents in place, you've got to make those documents work. And we all need to be up to date with things. We all need kind of that second set of eyes, some motivation, and on top of it, the expertise of understanding what all of this means and making sure documents are coordinated, beneficiary designations are coordinated, and so on. I think it's a lot to ask of somebody to do things once, have documents in place, and just think that from then on, they're all set. Even if they think they got everything picture perfect in that one time, as time moves on, there's always something to review, make sure is the way that you think it should be, and make any changes as necessary. Now, let me just talk about a pour over will. When you do have a lifetime trust, there's this thing called a pour over will, where you can say in your will any assets that may come in through my estate after I pass and will be picked up by my will. My executor then can just hand over to the trustee of my lifetime trust, just pour over into the trust. I think there are pros and cons for doing that. And it doesn't mean that it's the one and only way to do things. Sometimes people say, oh, you set up a lifetime trust, you should do a pour over will. Not necessarily. We should think through this a bit more and determine what's going to be most helpful depending on the various facts and circumstances. So just something to think about. And always remember, you can always review, revise your wills. If you have one version or the other and you think you should jump to the other way, then that's possible as long as you have capacity and so on. But it really should be something that is thought through and not just this is the standard, everybody does it this way. Pros and cons there. And so I would get into a discussion with a client on what their particular facts and circumstances are and which way to do it. So always think about what you have in place, review things with your estate planning attorney, try and pick up anything that gets forgotten about, keep it on your radar, and help your loved ones into the future so they don't have to do some sort of unnecessary proceeding that we really don't want, especially when we are being so proactive in setting up a lifetime trust. So this is Ruth George with Ruth P. George Law, PLLC, Trust and Estate Attorney. This video, as with any video I do put out, is for educational purposes only. It does not establish an attorney-client relationship, and I look forward to seeing you on another video.